Dubai AI Festival probably is the biggest thing happening during the Dubai AI week. I want to call it the iconic event because it brings, first of all, the success and legacy of the first edition together. We're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 people expected to attend. We are talking about hundreds of speakers. We have more than 100 investors, startups, association partner, and we have the world thought leaders coming, and we have ministers, and of course this is under the directive of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid.
You're watching Below the Fold podcast. Your host, myself, Andreas Frangeskides. Today marks a really special edition of the podcast as we mark the 2025 Dubai AI Festival that is happening next week. We're joined today by somebody truly special, a man who sits at the intersection of influence and innovation, Shadi Dawi. You're an award-winning journalist, global PR director, a man who was recognized as Dubai's #2 tech influencer for 2025, a huge accolade. You've hosted over 400 interviews with the region's most powerful. You've launched 16 brands internationally, I understand. I've done my research.
Yeah, that's good.
And you were the first graduate in AI journalism and metaverse media, which is really, really exciting. And you sit behind as the kind of guiding force or a key force behind the biggest tech events here in the region, from the AI and Web3 Festival of old, the Dubai FinTech Summit, HODL, and others. And you're not stopping anytime soon, clearly. Shadi, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
My pleasure. Before we get into the questions that I have today that we've kind of put together for you, because I think you're a really interesting interview. I'd like to understand a little bit about you as the man behind you. What drives you? Who are you when the camera stops rolling and the press coverage fades?
Well, I mean, it's nice to be with you, Andreas. And I'm just a normal man, normal person who has an ambition and who thinks that impossible is possible. And genuinely speaking, I learned this here from the leadership of UAE, especially Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. He is a real mentor when it comes to making impossible possible. And I think if you have, as we say, if you have the will, you will find the way.
100%.
So, I mean, I started actually I started my career in hospitality. I mean, that's probably something that most people don't know, or many people don't know. But in the last 10 years, I made this probably what we call career switch or change, because I had something when I was at 18 years old, and this is something probably that I say it for the first time. I wanted to do media. Then my dad, that time, I mean, we were much influenced by, parents, the decisions, directions, recommendations. So he said, no, what do you want to do? You want to become a journalist? Don't you see around here, the journalists, they don't have jobs, they don't have good salaries. No, you shouldn't do this. You should go and, Lebanon is very well known, not was still, for its hospitality. Many Lebanese are in the front line of hospitality. They are all CEOs and GMs all over the world, not only here. So that's why my dad has also that. Since that time, he wanted me to, to study hospitality management. So I went there. I studied. I didn't want to let him down, and I did good in my career. But that small thing, that passion was still inside of me. So even when I was working in the hospitality, wherever I go, you will see me going, talking to media, to people, trying to, and what inspired me also is my mom. God bless her soul. My mom passed away in 2008, and she left a big mark. She was a poet. She had 3 books, and she's actually she ignited this passion more and more, because I still recall when I was studying in the university, she used to call me always to sit and listen. For example, this ex-poet comes to our house, then another writer comes to our house, and even she had very good connections with the Minister of Culture, and so that particular phase of my life really stands behind this. I mean, until sometimes the moment will come. So when the moment came, if you ask me, then when did you do this change? So the moment came where I was in a company, and when I had the chance, we had a grand opening of a big place, and that time something happened and something came and said, Shadi, this is the time. It's time to change, and this is what I did.
It's amazing to see that you're such a human being at the heart of it, and you're working in such a complex and highly sophisticated business world now. But it's beautiful, because I think ultimately it's something that truly defines you as a person, and obviously the direction that you're going and that humility that you have. It's one of the interesting things why I've loved getting to know you these past weeks.
Thank you.
So in the world of business then, what kind of person are you? Are you a communicator? Are you a creator? Are you a connector? Or are you something completely different?
Look, nobody is perfect. I mean, we are all good at certain aspects and skills or caliber or traits, so wherever we are good at, we should maintain and keep going. Wherever we need to improve, we should always as I said at the start, there's impossible is possible. For me, yes, I think I am. I mean, it's not good for someone to talk about himself, but you asked, so I have to answer. So I think I'm a good communicator. I'm good at understanding people and listening to people, because when I listen, I discover, I don't know, my assessment and what I feel is when you listen to people with your heart, not only your mind, and you feel what they say. It's not like just many people, they just listen to you and then the discussion keeps going. No, when you listen in your heart and soul, as we say, when you understand, and when you interact and show interest and some emotions, I think you will be able to build really genuine relationships, and people will, I don't want to say they love you, but in a kind of, they would always like to sit with you and communicate with you and be with you. So that's very critical for the relationships. We all go out, meet and network, and I'm sure you've heard like, I don't like this guy.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
And
happens all the time.
And the other way around, reversely, oh, that guy is awesome. This is what I'm talking about. So once you're there, so communication is of course, communication and understanding, and of course relationship networking is something that is very critical to what I'm doing.
Love is a very underrated concept and principle in today's world. We flippantly throw it around, don't we? We kind of say that, I love you, I love this, or I love that. But actually, do people actually come to the table and mean it? And I think this is something that I'm really getting from you, that I think that is a core tenet of who you are as a person. Interestingly, I noticed that you are going back to education, and you're studying to get a doctorate at the moment.
Yes.
What inspired you? Is this something deeper? It's not just about knowledge, I think. There must be something more to it.
Actually, I mentioned it a little bit, and when I speak about my mom, I get a little bit emotional, and which is good. I'm happy with this, but we're in a podcast, so. But anyway,
feel free to be yourself. Don't worry.
I know. Look, she always wanted me to study and to get to be on the to become a PhD holder.
Okay.
So and she studied before she passed away. She, at the age of 51, she went to university, and she was studying Arabic literature. So yeah, I mean, 100% she was behind. I mean, inspiration, and this is one side. The other thing, which is also very important, Andreas, we graduated long time back, so basically all what we have learned has changed. We live today in the fast digital transformation age, and things are changing like crazy around us. The AI revolution. You just made an introduction. We're about to hit the Dubai AI Festival. So you need to update your information. You need to update your education, academic, and all the technologies, and you need to stay up to date. So to do so, you need to. That's why I thought it's a good time to do my PhD and doctorate. And when I started already, I've been there like for 8 months, and what I have seen is really impressive. There's a lot of things which I didn't know, and I even when you talk about strategies, leadership. When we had the course of AI, one brilliant professor came and gave us 3 days an amazing lecture. I mean, a course. We learned a lot of things, which was amazing. So yeah, I mean, updating knowledge and education this helps you a lot to always stay ahead. It's about now staying ahead. In this. Now and at this time, if you are not ahead, if you don't think ahead, if you don't work hard to stay ahead, somebody else will come and will take your place. So time, don't wait for anyone. Doesn't wait.
Interesting that you mentioned time, actually, and thank you for telling me a little bit about that. And I think I think everybody on the podcast will understand and relate to where you're coming from. I think it's a very beautiful thing that you're doing this in as accolade to your mum and stuff like that. So somebody sent me something recently, and it's really funny because we've been in the business world for a while now, and obviously sometimes you forget where we are as human beings and where we came from. And the last time I was in a history class, I was 16 years old, right? And I'm 40 years old at the moment. So there's a big time difference since that point. But somebody sent me something recently. It was really fascinating. And did you know the Big Bang happened 13 billion years ago, right? Earth. I'm sorry for reciting some stats, but it comes to the point around time. Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. Life began 3.5 billion years ago. Dinosaurs were around 230 million years ago, and they were around for 180 million years. Okay, the first emergence of humanity with Homo erectus was 2 million years ago. So you see how this timeline has gone from billions to 2 million. Homo sapiens, the evolution of primates, us, happened 200,000 years ago, and modern civilization is a few thousand years old. AI is 10.
Almost, even less
years old. So in this world where we've taken tens of millions of years, in some cases hundreds of millions of years of evolution, to establish our consciousness, our language, our abilities as human beings to not only evolve but survive and learn and grow and adapt. And it's taken that time in order for us to become these supercomputers that we are as human beings. So in a world now where AI, in that short space of time, is automating communication, a fundamental human trait, do you still think then that human touch is critical as an enabler versus the AI being the enabler of language and conversation and ability in automating communication?
Well, that's a very long and beautiful question. I'll answer you straightforward. Yes, and definitely it's a yes. I don't think anything will replace emotions. What I said just now is a small example. I'm sure there are many people who have more examples and more interesting, probably, life stories to tell where they were impressed. I don't really think that a machine will impress someone emotionally. They will impress us and the output and what you said and the evolution and the fast pace and the progress and the advancements and so on. But I think also, Andreas, we still need, we don't you need, you don't need emotions. We need
100%.
emotions. How can you, how can we, can, I can't imagine that emotions can be replaced under any reason. I mean, that's something that is very, very critical. And so the answer is no, we still, we are in need for emotions.
I think there is authority in authorship, right? I think the two words are hand in hand, and I think ultimately, when you're reading a beautiful poem, like you say, from your mother, or from an Arabic script, or a beautiful piece of text that was written firsthand by that author, hundreds of years ago, it's very, very different versus a predefined outcome from a large language model or a GPT. And I think that you're right. And I think being able to put your heart down on paper and vocalize it as a human being is really the point of difference.
So let me clarify something so
Of
I
course.
can be well understood. So
Please.
we're talking here about the emotions part, but definitely the AI and what's going on. And this is a necessity. This is a must. It's a need. And this is something that we should all understand, embrace, and be agile and resilient, and do whatever it takes to to adapt to it, to make proper use of it. That's why I said in the previous question,
Yes.
if you don't update your knowledge, that's one of the reasons actually that made me decide to do my PhD or doctorate. And in my thesis, I'm gonna focus on AI and content creation. So it will be around this, about content creation and in the AI landscape, or using different models of AI. So technologies and what's going on now in all its verticals and aspects. All technologies are important, specifically talking about, or precisely talking about AI. So I just want to make this small clarification.
Yeah, and I think that's what's the interesting debate, isn't it? It's kind of like it's a tool in your toolbox, just like any other, a paintbrush, a pen, or a pencil, and it will allow us to be more creative, more inspirational, more influential. But it comes hand in hand with the human embrace, as I like to say.
Yeah.
Let's take a different direction now. I want to talk a bit more about the festival.
Okay.
I'm really excited about it this year. What surprises do people have in store for coming to visit? You guys are front and center in the development of the project, the attendee list, the guest list, the speakers, the creation of the event itself. Can you give us a little bit of excitement, a kind of precursor to the event of what we have to expect?
Look, I mean, to talk about the event and what's gonna happen and what is waiting everyone, we need a separate podcast probably. But I'll try to summarize it and give a brief summary. So Dubai AI Festival, this is the second edition. It comes this year under, or it's part of Dubai AI Week. So Dubai AI Festival probably is the biggest thing happening during the Dubai AI Week. It is, I want to call it the iconic event, because it brings first of all the success and legacy of the first edition together. We're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 people expected to attend. We are talking about hundreds of speakers. We have more than 100 investors, startups, association partner, and we have the world thought leaders coming, and we have ministers, and of course this is under the directive of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Minister of Defense, Deputy Prime Minister, and Deputy Ruler. And he is also the chairman of the Executive Council, and I'm sorry if I forget any title. So this gives the event a big boost, and what I want to say as well is that at Trescon we give a lot of importance, and we focus a lot on the panels, and let me say the themes and the panel discussions and the topics that we choose. Subsequently, we focus a lot on the speakers as well. That's why we have a talented team behind, and they really do a lot of hard work in selecting the speakers, communicating with them, onboarding them, and that this is a core advantage that I can say this is one of the competitive edges and competitive things that we do at Rescon, which probably very few other events organizing companies are doing. So people can expect exciting topics and panels to see in the plenary stage. We have amazing media coverage. I mean, I'm the PR guy, so if I tell you we have the best media, but fairly speaking, you can go on the website, you can check. I mean, we've been onboarding the world best media, whether it's international. So we are one of the very few events. I mean, if I can say that, where we have international media, we have regional media, and we have national media. And I'm talking about partnerships, because there are two types of media coverage or of media collaborations that happens usually in the events landscape. You have either media partners or media that comes and partner with you, and then within this partnership or the scope of this partnership represents some deliverables and commitments from both sides. So we offer the media some commitments, and they offer us in return some commitments. And of course, this doesn't happen so easy like this. It requires a very it requires a negotiation and skills, and you have to really make sure the media is convinced in what you offer them, and also you need to make sure like what they deliver and what they offer to us is relevant to the event. It can have a good return, and it can really reflects or give awareness and helps us in driving whether traffic and delegates, and make the event popular. So this is the first type of media, which are called media partners. That's why you see them that with titles all the time, like ecosystem media partner, official media partner, AI and tech, and so on. The second part is the media that comes for coverage. So this media, those media entities or organizations, they just come to cover, which is again still good, because they come, they do interviews, and they cover the event, and sometimes they write some narrative or articles about the event. The media alignment is unique. We have 50 media partner for this edition, and we expect around another 50 media to come and do coverage. So basically, I encourage and recommend everyone who did not register yet to register, to come really and visit Dubai AI Festival, the second edition. It's in Medina Jumeirah, as you know, and yes, I mean, anything else you want to know about?
No, I also heard that Date with Tech will be there in a live studio podcast, which is really exciting for all the people that can't attend for whatever reason, to listen to some of the most influential speakers that are going to be on your guest list, explaining where they see the future of AI and what they're doing in order to inspire change, and how they're helping to build Dubai as the central hub of AI innovation globally. We're running out of time. It's been amazing talking to you, but I just want to ask you one last question before we close. When people look back at your impact, so you started in hospitality, you've got a wealth of influence and career kind of stories. You're clearly an expert in storytelling in the region, all the way up to being a journalist, and now your work as a Trescon and the PR director. When people look back and think of Shadi Dawi, one day future Dr. Shadi Dawi, what will you best known for, and what would you want to be known for?
I'm a people person, straightforward. This is the key for all the things you have mentioned. If you are a people person, you love people, you give. My motto and my what I do, if you want, is I'm trying always to add value to people's life. So my priority is to help people to leave a trace.
Yes.
And I think whether by God's grace or whatever. Maybe it's the natural law of things, how it happened. Call it whatever you want. This comes back to you. So whatever you do comes back to you. So this is one driver, and this is one of the key priorities. Number two, all what you said. So even hospitality, even maybe here a small hint. Hospitality helps a lot and helped me a lot to soften my skills. It gives me a lot. I learned a lot of soft skills, communication. I improved a lot on communication, because you meet different types of people. I met in my life ministers, prime ministers, and I met ambassadors, and I used to go to their home, and that's why I told you, if you are a people person. So some people, they have, for example, an objective to meet a very high level person. Let me not mention designations. The mistake that happen is when they meet and talk or network, probably the discussion and the communication is focused on business side, or one probably on another side, which is not related to relationships. That's why when you build real relationships with people, later on business will come and everything else will come. So last word I want to say is it is important to have different skills and caliber. When you are in the PR and comms industry, and especially if you add to it the government relations, you need to possess certain skills and improve them. And I'm still improving on many aspects. So yeah, that's basically what it is.
Absolutely phenomenal. This has been Below the Fold podcast in association with the Launch Foundry, alongside the Dubai AI Festival 2025 special edition. Shadi, it's been an absolute honor to host you today.
Thank you.
I've only known you for a short while, and I can genuinely say, and I'm sure our listeners will also agree, you're a guy who leads from the front, leads with heart, leads with passion, and has great determination for success and change. A friend of mine once said, and a mentor, he said, remember those most who moved the room, not just the market. And personally, I will forever remember this hour we had together as I feel truly moved. So I just want to say a big thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to speaking with you again and seeing where life takes you.
Andreas, thank you very much. I think this podcast was amazing. We did not talk much. Probably we need to do some other podcasts to talk more technical and about probably
100%.
PR, comms, and what comes underneath. But I think it's an amazing, great podcast, because what matters most is to reach people's hearts and people's souls, and really, and all the great people, as you said, they when they go and you see them talking, yes, definitely they talk about technologies or whatever verticals or industries, but they are all human beings. So if you notice, and they are very humble, and the key to success is being humble. That's something probably I missed or I forgot to say. Being humble and kind. Believe me, everything will come to you. Not will come to you. You have to work hard, definitely, but you will enjoy, navigating the success. Let me put it this way. Thank you very much, and it was great.
Thank you, Shadi.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Take care.
Take care.